Okay, here is how to go through and check that the cables are plugged in correctly to your KCTC router. So right now I have this router here. It's got this cable right here, which is for the internet, this cable right here for power, and this one is just a wired connection going to, like a desktop computer or something like that. And you can see that these lights are green, the power light, the service light is on and flashing. These two lights are on because the Wi-Fi, to show that the Wi-Fi is working. And then also this green light down here is on that says Ethernet 1, which corresponds to this back here. So I'm plugged into Ethernet 1, so this green light is on for Ethernet 1. If, say, whatever I have plugged into Ethernet 1, the computer that's plugged in here was not working, it might be because my cable is loose, which I just pulled it out a little bit. As you can see, it's not all the way in. And the way that you tell that it's not working or not all the way in is that light went off. So there's no light there, so you can tell that the router is not sending any data. So I'm just going to plug it in, and you just push it in. It makes a little click noise with this kind of connection. And then we wait, and there, the light came back on, indicating that the cable is plugged in correctly. If you don't get internet anywhere, if your Wi-Fi is not working, it might be because this cable down here is not plugged in correctly. And so I just pulled it out a little bit, and you can see that broadband and service lights are not on, which means that the router is on, but it is not getting any internet. And the wireless signal is on, but you're not going to be able to connect to the internet. So the way to check that and see if that's the case, you can see it's pulled out. I'm going to pop it back in, push down on it. It should make a little click noise. And then the service light just turned on and turned red. Broadband is back up. It's kind of sending data and resetting a little bit, and there they both just came back on. So now we're back connected to the internet. If there are no lights on the router and everything looks like it's plugged in, it might be because your power cable is not all the way plugged in. So you can see this is loose, it's just kind of barely in there. If I plug it in all the way, this light immediately comes back on, and the router will reboot, which is fine. It will take up to 5 minutes for the router to reboot, so once you plug that cable back in, you might have to wait a while for everything to come back on. But as you can see, it's kind of going through the paces of restarting, and eventually these lights will be green again, and that one is already green. And that will indicate that the router is on and everything is plugged in correctly. Thanks.